God, my hair looks awful. I look awful. I'm an awful looking person right now. This is going to be a little different than what I usually do, but nobody fucking watches what I put up on YouTube, so I guess it doesn't matter that it's different. I found the script on my laptop that I wrote a year and a half ago, and I never did anything with it. Seeing as Gerald's Game just got a Netflix movie and Stephen King had two other books this year that were adapted into theatrical releases, this is as good a time as any to do it. So I'm just going to read from the script, probably add some shit here and there, and if I'm good enough, you probably won't even be able to tell. But I'm not good at things, so you're going to be able to tell. This is a new show that I'm going to be doing about books. And in case you're a filthy fucking Philistine, a book is what Hollywood uses when they run out of ideas for things. You know, kind of like a YouTuber reviewing shit. Books and movies, I love them both, and some of the best movies have been adapted from books, like The Shining and Twilight. That's not the best example I know because Stanley Kubrick changed a lot of shit from the source material to make The Shining, and, Twilight hasn't been relevant for about 5 years. What is the new Twilight that I can pander to people? The Maze Runner. Divergent. 50 Shades. I'm going to go with 50 Shades of Grey. So without padding this runtime any longer, here's Literary Review. That's the fucking name I came up with, and it's the one I'm stuck with. Gerald's Game is a novel by Stephen King, and it asks the very age-old question, what would you do if you were handcuffed to a bed while your spouse lies dead on the floor? It's a question that everybody wants to know the answer to, and the answer is, it's a lot of fucked up bullshit. That should have been an obvious answer because it's written by Stephen King. If Stephen King decided to write a children's book, he would harm more kids than the lead singer of Lost Prophets. Jesus Christ. Jessie Burlingame and her husband Gerald are rich assholes who like to go to their lakeside cabin to bang each other in private. Gerald's titular game is that he handcuffs Jessie to a bedpost while he walks around talking like a fucking pirate. I'm being serious. This is a direct quote from the book. I'll teach ye me proud beauty. Yeah. Jessie decides that she's not having it, and although she has already willingly handcuffed herself to the bed, she demands to be released. Now, from what I understand about bondage, from, 50 Shades of Grey and all my other experience from it, it's about trust. It's about a safe danger. And while sometimes consent is not as always clear-cut and dry as it should be, she's pretty fucking vocal about her lack of commitment to the game, so there's really no way that you could twist that into saying, I thought she was playing along. So, Gerald, he's pissed off. He decides that the best course of action to take at this moment is to just, go ahead and rape her, because he's a piece of shit like that. Gerald's spit lands on Jessie's stomach, and she starts thinking about spunk, kicks him in the dick, and he fucking dies. I'm serious. Jessie goes crazy almost immediately and starts hearing voices in her head telling her conflicting ideas. And she keeps alluding to the day the sun went out. At this moment, we are then introduced to the other point of view character, which is a stray dog that was at one point named Prince. So he gets a whiff of Gerald's body, goes inside the cabin, and bites his fucking arm off. That's pretty brutal, but I gotta be honest, I thought it was kind of tame because I really believed that at this moment Jessie was going to get fucked by a dog. And that sounds like a me thing. That sounds like I'm fucked up in the head, but if you're familiar with Stephen King's work, particularly It, you can understand why I would not put that past him. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about It, then you should look it up. Actually, don't look it up, okay? Don't look it up. You have nothing to gain from that. I wish I could strike it from my memory. I haven't seen the new movie yet, but I can only assume that they cut that part out for good reason. Jessie talks to herself for a little bit longer, and then the artist formerly known as Cujo comes back in, and Stephen King takes this time out to refer to Jessie as a bitch master, which is my new favorite insult. And, Prince just hangs out in the living room chowing down on Gerald a little bit longer. Jessie MacGyvers a straw to drink out of a glass of water that's on a shelf above the bed. Eventually, we learn that Jessie's adverse reaction to the thought of spunk was because when she was 10 years old, her father dry humps her and jizzes on her. Turns out the Lost Prophets joke I made at the beginning was not just a tasteless joke, it was also foreshadowing. So this happens while Jessie sits on his lap watching a Twilight eclipse. No, I can't fucking reference Twilight again. While she sits on his lap watching a total eclipse of the heart. Okay, it just says sing. The script just says sing. Don't turn around, Jesse. Every now and then I come on you, and I need you now tonight. This joke's not going well, I know it. And if I only hold you tight, I'm gonna scar you for life. I'm fucking sorry. I'm fucking sorry about the content of that song and also the act of me singing that song itself. Oh my god. Okay, even without the incest, child molesting, I have a difficult time reading sexual things by Stephen King. Maybe it's just the paperback print that I read both this and it in. It has the fucking creepiest picture I've ever seen of a human being on the back of it. So every time I get uncomfortable reading, I shut the book and it's just him staring at me like, yeah, I fucking wrote that shit. What are you gonna do about it? So the Mitsubishi eclipse was the day the sun went out that her voices keep talking about in the present day. Jesse's dad convinces her that what happened was her fault and that if she talks about it, she would be the one that gets in trouble because, he's a fucking scumbag. She never dealt with child abuse and it fucked her right up, as childhood abuse tends to do to people. So finally confronting her childhood trauma, she is re-empowered to make one final attempt to free herself. She shatters the glass that she drank the water from earlier, and while she hasn't been there for 127 hours, she starts to cut her fucking hand off. Halfway through cutting her hand off, it slips out of the handcuff and she pushes the bed over to the dresser where the keys are. The phone lines are down, so she drives off in her Mercedes, chroming, shining, sipping daily, and she wrecks it. And so, yeah, this happens, but it's not really important to the story at all. It's just filler shit. She sees this figure when she's handcuffed to the bed, and she thinks it's a hallucination. But in fact, it's a physically deformed man who goes around killing people and raping their corpses. Because literally every single person that she comes into contact with is a freak. She goes to his court appearance and spits in his fucking face like Carlito Caribbean Cool, and that's actually pretty rad. It's the end of the book. What I find interesting about this is that Stephen King is able to milk 400 pages out of a story that could have been told in 40, but that's mainly because he loves to repeat himself with shit. It's an alright book. I'd say about a 5 or 6 out of 10. Like, I wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend against reading it. And it's not the best book I read by him. It's not the worst book that I've read while I was in rehab. No. That would be Bloodstream. Fuck you, Bloodstream. God damn it, I wasted my time reading that bullshit. It was the worst thing I ever read. It was like an old woman trying to, oh, this is what teenagers talk about. They're a fucking kid, he's a teenager, he's a skateboarder, and he's doing some skate tricks in front of some girls, and it's his thought process. He's like, oh, don't bite it, dude. Nobody fucking thinks like that. What the fuck is this shit? It was so bad. It was like funguses infecting the water and making people kill other people. And this chick, she moves to this small town to get her husband. Oh, her husband died. She wants to raise her kid. This is also a fucking review of Bloodstream. It's fucking bullshit. Do not read Bloodstream. It's fucking awful. She fucks the chief of police because of course she does. That's what all these fucking cheesy ass books do. We're oh, the doctor and the chief of police, they bond over this crazy string of murders, and then they fuck each other, and they're old, and they fuck each other, and it's gross. Her fucking kid does a fucking school shooting. I swear to God, it's a fucking school shooting. Okay, it wasn't her kid that did it. Her kid was there, and he's the one that stopped it. He's like, oh, I better not bite this, too. You saw, but God damn, it's so many fucking things at once, and it's all fucking bad. Bloodstream. Fucking, I don't even remember who wrote it. I remember the fact that I read the book, and it fucking sucks. Do not read that book. It's a part of a series, I think. It's a series of shit. Okay, that last part, that was the part that was improv. I don't know if you could tell. It was so seamless, right? It was exactly God damn. This video's over, okay? I've already gone on. It's 9.5 minutes already. I might do this again, actually, writing scripts about books that I read and doing reviews of it. It's kind of fun. I might do that again, actually. So, look forward to that.